Betrayal? Revenge? Forgiveness? Healing? She lost her wedding, her family, her soul. But the war isn't over. Watch now. Hey guys, it's me, Tessa. Yeah, I know long time, no see, but I gotta get this off my chest. 3 weeks before my wedding, I was on cloud 9. 28, engaged to the love of my life for 4 solid years, planning the day I'd dreamed about since I was a kid. The venue, this gorgeous garden estate just outside town, booked and paid for. Dress, hanging in my closet, fitted to perfection. Invites, 200 of them, out in the mail. Even my little sister, 23, and usually off in her own world, agreed to be my maid of honor. We weren't tight, but I figured, hey, maybe this'll bring us closer. Big mistake. It was a random Thursday night. Mom and Dad invited me over for dinner, nothing weird. They did that all the time. But the second I walked in, the vibe was off. Dad wouldn't look at me. Mom kept twisting her hands like she was trying to wring out a towel, and my sister, she's sitting there with this flat, challenging stare, like she's daring the room to explode. Then she stood up mid-dinner, hand on her still flat stomach, and dropped the nuke. I'm pregnant with your fiancé's baby. We've been hooking up for 6 months. 6 freaking months. I remember the exact clink of my fork hitting the plate. Mom gasped, but didn't say a word to defend me. Dad just muttered, "Tessa, calm down," when I started yelling. But my sister? Zero remorse. No tears, no shame, just stood there like she'd announced she wanted pie for dessert. That night, my phone blew up. 73 calls from him. I didn't pick up once. My parents kept texting, "We need to talk this out as a family. These things happen. These things happen." My sister seduced my fiancé, got knocked up. And that's just normal. 2 weeks later, they flipped completely. Suddenly, it's all about supporting the young, scared, vulnerable one. Me, the betrayed fiancé, invisible. They even asked, get this, if they could reuse my wedding plans. Same venue, same florist, same buffet. Mom actually called and said it'd be such a waste to cancel everything. I couldn't breathe, guys. I cared. I cared so much it hurt. But they did it anyway. 2 months after my wedding was supposed to happen, my sister walked down the aisle in a white dress, pregnant with my ex's kid, at my venue, with my flowers, eating my menu. Only 3 relatives skipped it: my dad's sister, my cousin, and grandma. Everyone else showed up, smiled, posted pics, like it was the cutest thing ever. I spent the day alone in my apartment, chugging wine, staring at my wedding dress, still hanging in the closet. The life I was supposed to have, gone. My parents kept calling, telling me to get over it and be happy for them. My mom even said I was being selfish for making my sister's pregnancy about me. That's when it hit me. They didn't just let this happen, they chose her. The traitor over the betrayed. So I made a choice I cut them off. Blocked numbers, socials, moved to a new part of town. For the first time, I was totally alone. And honestly, it felt better than being part of a family that could do this to me. But this isn't a sob story about staying broken. It gets darker before it gets better. Is cheeky with me. The next 3 years were brutal. First, 6 months. Therapy twice a week, trying to wrap my head around how my entire family could stab me in the back like that. My therapist kept asking if I wanted to work on forgiveness. I told her I wanted to stop thinking about them every single day. I threw myself into work, got promoted twice, started traveling for business, made new friends who didn't know my drama and didn't pry when I said I wasn't close with family. I built a whole new life, brick by brick. Exhausting, but necessary. Around the 2-year mark, I woke up one morning and realized I'd gone a full week without thinking about my sister or my ex. I could finally breathe. That's when I met Owen at a conference in Seattle. He'd started his own consulting firm 5 years earlier and turned it into something huge. We ended up next to each other at a networking dinner. He made me laugh, real, gut-busting laughs, not that polite fake stuff. We talked for 4 hours about work, travel, everything except family. When he asked for my number, I almost said no. Trust issues, but something in his eyes made me say yes. We did long distance for 8 months before he asked me to move in. I was terrified the last time. I trusted someone fully. It wrecked me. But Owen was patient. Never pushed. Let me set the pace. When I finally told him everything sitting on his porch at 2 a.m., I braced for shock. Instead, he just held my hand and said, "That explains your strength. You rebuilt yourself from nothing. That's incredible." 10 months later, on a random Tuesday night while cooking dinner, he proposed. Simple, no pressure. I said yes. We planned everything ourselves, no family input, no drama. Got married in Italy, just us and 12 close friends. Small, perfect hours. I picked my own dress. We wrote our own vows. I cried, happy tears. I sent my parents an invite not because I wanted them there, but to show Edie moved on, built something beautiful without them. They didn't come. Mom called 2 days before, said they couldn't leave my sister in a tough time. Her marriage was already rocky. I hung up mid-sentence. Owen asked if I was okay. I told him I was free. 6 months post-wedding, we started trying for kids. I was 31. He was 35 ready. Month after month, nothing. After a year, we saw a specialist. Turns out I had fertility issues, not impossible, but not easy. Treatments, monitoring, injections, the works, expensive, exhausting, emotionally draining. Owen squeezed my hand at that appointment and told the doc we'd do whatever it took. It was a different kind of brutal no betrayal, just wanting something so bad and having zero control. 1 month after another negative test, I lost it. Told Owen maybe this was punishment for cutting my family off. Maybe I didn't deserve to be a mom. He looked at me dead serious and said, "Don't you dare let them steal this too. This is about us." He was right. Our life, our fight. What I didn't know, my old life was about to crash back in the worst way. For years after I cut them off, Sunday afternoon, my dad's called. I almost ignored it, but something made me answer. He sounded old, tired, asked if we could really talk about fixing the family. Said life's too short, Mom missed me terribly. I wanted to hang up, but Owen was watching, and I could tell he thought I should hear them out. Not for them, for me, so I wouldn't wonder forever. So I agreed to dinner, neutral spot, both families. My parents, my sister, and her husband Dia, they actually got married Dan to Owen and me. Fancy, quiet restaurant. Figured no one would make a scene. Naive, my sister showed up with her 2 kids, a 4-year-old boy and a 2-year-old girl. Both looked exactly like my ex. Stabbed to the gut every time I glanced at them. She looked rough, dark circles, extra weight, exhausted. Her husband couldn't meet. My eyes just stared at his plate. Parents tried small talk. Owen's business. My hair, walking on eggshells. Sister stayed quiet, tending the kids. Then desert hit, and hell broke loose. Mom asked if Owen and I were planning kids soon. Before I could answer, my sister left hand said, "Good luck. Heard you're having trouble. Must be tough wanting something you can't have." Table went dead. Owen's hand crushed mine under the table. She kept going. I got pregnant just thinking about it. All 3 times. 3. Mom gasped, delighted. Sister smiled, hand on her belly. 12 weeks. Another boy. I felt like puking. Dad gave me a look like, say something supportive. I couldn't speak. Then she turned to Owen. "You must be so patient. If my husband couldn't to give me kids, I don't know what I'd do. But real love sticks it out, right?" The way she eyed him, smirky, flirty. Owen stood so fast his chair scraped. "We're leaving." "Sister, what?" "Just making conversation. Don't be sensitive." Mom reached for my arm. "Please, don't ruin the night." She didn't mean anything. Same excuse they'd used my whole life. Something snapped. I didn't sit. I looked at my sister, really looked, and saw her for what she was, someone who deliberately wrecked my life and felt nothing. "Let's talk sensitivity," I said, voice low. "Let's talk about you seducing my fiancé 6 months before my wedding." announcing your pregnancy like a trophy, stealing my wedding venue, flowers, menu, and not one person here stopped you. Dad warned. Tessa, I cut him off. Done being reasonable. Turned to my parents. You chose her. The second she announced that baby, you picked the traitor. Never asked if I was okay. Just told me to get over it because it was easier than holding her accountable. Moan teared up. We were trying to keep the family together. I laughed. Harsh. You didn't keep anything together. You cut me out and pretended it was the same. Sister rolled her eyes. God, you're still on this. It's been years. Get over it. Get over it. I repeated. You destroyed my life. Never apologized once. She shrugged. Not sorry. He was never really yours. Men don't cheat unless they're not getting what they need at home. Owen stepped beside me. Solid. We're done. But she wasn't. She eyed Owen up and down. If you ever get tired of damaged goods, you know where to find me. Clearly fertile. The table erupted. Dad stood. Mom gasped. Owen's face darkened. Before anyone spoke, I laughed real, bottomless laugh. You think that was sexy? You're pathetic. Stole my fiancé because you couldn't stand me having something you didn't. Now you're pregnant with your third, marriage falling apart, trying to flirt with my husband because you still can't stand me being happy. Her husband looked horrified. Good. Let him see who we married. You want damaged goods? Look in the mirror. 27. Stuck with a guy who barely glances at you. Raising kids on a foundation of betrayal. Your son is gone now. Grow up knowing his dad cheated on his aunt to be with his mom. Good luck explaining that origin story. Dad, enough. Me, you're right. Done. Came tonight hoping you'd finally own what you let happen. But nothing's changed. She's still the same manipulator, and you're still making excuses. I looked at my ex, and you. You sat there like a scolded kid. No defense for your wife, yourself, nothing. You're the coward I always knew. Grabbed my bag. Owen was already up. This family's dead to me. Not because of the betrayal I might have forgiven that, but because none of you thought I deserved better. Even tonight, you're still choosing her. Mom sobbed. Please don't. Me? You did this years ago? I'm just accepting it. We walked out. I didn't look back. 2 weeks after that train wreck dinner, I was still processing. Owen kept saying I did the right thing standing up for myself, cutting them permanently. But at night, I'd replay it all. This toxic mix of vindication and rage. Needed to vent, but I'd worn out Owen's patience, and my therapist was booked. So I did what anyone does: hit the internet. Found an anonymous support group for families. Read dozens of stories: narcissistic parents, abusive siblings, unforgivable helachivis. Weirdly comforting knowing I wasn't alone. Then I posted whole story, betrayal, stolen wedding. For years, silence. The dinner. No names, no city, just vague enough to be anyone's nightmare. Just needed to get it out. Support poured in. Hundreds of comments. I did the right thing. My family's toxic. I deserve better. Felt like validation I didn't know I needed. Checked obsessively for days. Each comment fed something dark I didn't want to examine. 3 weeks later, my aunt, the one who skipped my sister's wedding. Tessa, did you post about your sister? My blood froze. Turns out, the story was circulating town. Details too specific. Someone connected dots and boom, group chats, social media, everywhere. Even reached my sister. I told my aunt I posted anonymously, no names. She said, people piece things together. It'll have consequences. She was right. Fiancé's sister lost her job first. Worked at a local medical office. Story spread like wildfire. Boss called her in something about professional reputation and family-oriented practice. Fired within a week. Then, social fallout. People recognized her at the grocery store, kids' school. Went from nobody to notorious. Her husband's family cut contact. Couple friends suddenly too busy. I heard it all through my aunt's gossip chain. And I listened every detail with this grim satisfaction that scared me. Aunt said they were talking about moving. Sister couldn't show her face without whispers. Someone even confronted her at the pharmacy. You should be ashamed. I should have felt bad. My anonymous post turned into public humiliation. But I didn't. She should be ashamed. I told my aunt, this is just the truth catching up. But even saying it felt off. Owen caught me one night scrolling socials, hunting mentions of the story, searching my sister's name. What are you doing? He asked gently. Just checking. You've been at it for hours. Sat beside me. This isn't healthy. She's losing everything: job, friends, reputation. How's that make you feel? Didn't answer. Truth was complicated, satisfied, vindicated, but also this darker power trip that felt wrong. I didn't name her, I said. I didn't do this. It's her actions. Owen took my phone. Maybe. But you're spending every free second watching the fallout. That's not moving on. That's obsession. He was right. Couldn't stop. Then my sister tried to sue me. Hired a lawyer, filed for defamation, claimed I posted lies that tanked her life. Official letter to my address. Creepy, she found where I lived. Owen and I saw a lawyer. He read my post, laughed. No case. Anonymous. Truth is absolute defense. Can't prove direct causation when spread was organic. Lawsuit dismissed before it started. Another L for her, W for me. Same week, I got pregnant. After 2 years of treatments, failures, hormones, pink lines, stared at the test for 10 minutes, crying. Showed Owen. He spun me around. We bawled. Should have been the happiest moment. Instead, I kept checking socials for sister updates. Became compulsive morning, night, multiple times a day. Needed to know if things were getting worse, if she was suffering enough. Owen noticed. 3 weeks post-positive test, he came home, found me deep in a gossip thread. Closed my laptop firmly. We gotta talk, Neil. That Tony, you're pregnant with our kid and spending more time obsessed with your sister than celebrating this miracle. I'm not obsessed. Yeah, you are. Checking her profiles daily, reading every comment, tracking consequences. You're consumed watching her crash. She deserves it. Maybe, but she's still controlling your life. You cut her out 4 years ago, yet she's more present now because you can't stop watching. That ain't fair to you, to us, to this baby. Tears rolled. He was right. I need to know she's paying for what she did. Then what, when she's suffered enough? Does that give you back those years? Make you happy? Couldn't answer. He pulled me close. You're terrified when this kid arrives. You'll be so busy monitoring her, you'll miss being present for him. That hit like ice water. Pictured holding my baby while secretly checking my phone. Made me sick. I don't know how to stop. You gotta try. This isn't justice or healing, it's letting her control you differently. That night, I thought about it. For years, building a new life, love, marriage, finally pregnant, had everything, but couldn't enjoy it because I was making sure she was miserable. Owen was right. She still had me hooked. 3 years later, sleepless nights, first words, tiny shoes, all the mom stuff. My son was born healthy, 8 pounds, Owen's eyes, perfect. I got better, not perfect. Still had moments I wanted to check her downfall, but Owen's words stuck, focused on my baby, marriage, new chapter. Thought I'd moved on. Then, the grocery store, son in the cart, 3 years old, chattering, turned an aisle and froze. My nephew even now, the boy from the dinner with my mom, who'd aged a decade, should've walked away, but I hid behind a display, watching mom buying generics, cheapest stuff, cart full of basics, nothing extra. Nephew looked thin, not starving, but not thriving. Clothes worn but clean. Mom counted coins at checkout. He asked for candy. She said no. They left with sparse bags. Called my aunt that night after bedtime. How bad is it? She knew, sighed, bad. Sister's husband left 6 months ago. Done, I guess. Kids' weekends with him. Minimal support. She's living with your parents. All 3 kids. Can't find work, reputation trashed, trying to sell content online. Photos, not going well. Felt sick, not satisfied. Desperate stuff. Your parents supporting 4 on retirement income. Not enough. She's doing what she thinks she has to hunt up empty. Wasn't victory watching someone spiral into darkness, knowing I helped push. 2 weeks later, Aunt called again, voice shaking. It leaked. Someone recognized her content, spreading everywhere, gossip sites, local groups, everyone's seen. Thought I'd feel triumphant. Final humiliation, but nothing. Just hollow. The kids, Aunt said, voice breaking. They're getting bullied. Kids at school somehow saw, showing others, mocking them. That made it real. Saw my nephew again days later, same store. Crying, trenching sobs, mom trying to calm him in the parking lot. Group of kids pointing, laughing. That's him, his mom's the one in the pictures. I stayed by my car, son oblivious in his seat. Watched my nephew collapse. Mom yelling at the kids, other parents pulling their children away, disgusted looks. Kids left. Mom got him in the car. Still heard his cries across the lot. Drove home on autopilot. Told Owen that night, that kid did nothing wrong. 7 years old. Classmates saw explicit pics of his mom. He'll carry that forever. Owen, not your fault, isn't it? I posted. Set this in motion. She made every choice. Her son didn't. Looked at our sleeping boy. If this happened to him, I'd burn the world to protect him. That night, couldn't shake the image of that little boy sobbing because of a chain I helped start. Nightmares began a week later. I was the villain watching myself destroy lives, smiling. Sometimes my sister, sometimes her kids, sometimes strangers morphing into people I loved. Woke gasping, sweating, convinced the dream me was the real one. Owen held me, but stopped asking. We both knew I was facing something I didn't want to. Then my son, 3.5, coloring at the kitchen table, asked, "Mommy, what's an ant?" Hand froze. Grandma said something about an aunt at her house last week. My mother-in-law, probably. Sister of your mom or dad, I said carefully. Do I have one? Should have told the truth. Should have said yes. It's complicated. Maybe one day I'll explain. But I lied. No, you don't. He nodded, went back to coloring. I sat there feeling like the worst person alive. Lied to my kid about something fundamental. And it came out easy. That night, bathroom floor, sobbing. Told Owen. I told him I don't have a sister. Lied straight to his face. Owen quiet. Then, you're becoming what you hate. Watched you 3 years monitor her destruction. Feel good about her pain. Convince yourself it's justified. Now lying to our son to keep your narrative. You're not healing, Tessa. You're turning bitter. Toxic as her. Wanted to argue, but it was true. I don't know how to let go. You have to, or you'll pass this hate to our kid. He'll grow up thinking family betrayal's unforgivable. Revenge is okay. Lines fine to protect a story. Before I could respond, phone rang late. My dad? Tessa, it's your mom. Pancreatic cancer. Stage 4. Less than a year, maybe 6 months. She wants to see you. World spun. Hung up without a word. Owen pulled me close. Didn't cry, just numb. Years of silence, anger, burned bridges. Thought I was fine with it. What do I do? Owen, whatever you choose, you live with it. Don't go, and she dies. No redo. Go. Be ready for what it means. Thought of my son's question, my lie, my nephew crying, years of obsession disguised as justice. I've become someone I don't recognize. Owen, then change. Not too late. Starts now. Dad called again 3 days later. Avoiding wasn't working. Met him at a cafe. Looked older, thinner, worn. 6 months, tops. Aggressive. No treatment helps now. Stirred my coffee. hands needing something to do. She doesn't want you to forgive your sister. Knows she can't ask that. But one request. When she's gone, both of you at the funeral. Doesn't want to be buried with her daughter still fighting. Not fair, I know. Asking you to stand beside the person who wrecked your life? Pretend we're family. But it's 2 hours. For her peace. And mine. When do I get that? No answer. That night, longest talk with Owen in months, told him everything. If you don't go, you'll regret it, he said. Not for them, for you. Wonder forever. Go. You'll know you gave her what she wanted in her final days. I hate this choice. It's yours. Next day, newtherapist.com, office, neutral colors, tissues ready. Told her everything betrayal to nightmares to impossible requests. What do you want? She asked. Long silence. For it to stop hurting, think about family without rage. My son grow up without this darkness. Be free. Will seeing her give that, maybe, or hurt more? What'll haunt you more, going and risking pain, or not going and living with the question? That night, wrote a letter to my sister. New plan to send just needed words out about the betrayal, years of rage watching her fall and feeling glad then guilty. Seeing her son cry and realizing revenge doesn't heal. Said I didn't forgive, maybe never would, but I was tired. Tired of hating, watching her suffer, letting her actions control me. Sealed it, stuck it in a drawer. Writing it shifted something. 3 days later, called Dad. I'll see her. Hospital visit. For me, not you, or her, or reunion fantasies. Because I need to know I did everything before it's too late. Thank you, 1 visit. No promises beyond. Hospital smelled like antiseptic and despair. Dad to meet me in lobby at 2. Got there early, anxious. Sat in waiting area, fidgeting with phone. Then a kid's voice, Grandpa, I'm scared. Looked up my nephew, 7, in oversized clothes, pale, with Dad and my sister. We locked eyes, neither expected this. Dad panicked. Nobody moved. Sister looked wrecked, weight gone, hair messy, bruise like circles under eyes. Defeated. Her son the one. Born from my betrayal looked at me. Recognition. Dad, who's that lady? Dad paled. Kid, you look like Mom. Grandpa talks about 2 daughters. Silence. Sister teared up. Dad wanted to vanish. I froze. Yeah, I whispered. I'm your aunt. Why haven't I met you? Simple, innocent. Nujid answer, it's complicated. You and Mom fought. Sister made a choked sound, bolted for the hall, shoulders shaking. Dad started after her, stopped. Kid looked scared. Did I say something wrong? No, buddy. Your grandma's really sick. Scary for everyone. Your mom's upset about that, not you. Should have left. Sat beside him instead. Your grandma's gonna die soon? Kid logic. You're sad too. Yeah. Even though you fought with Mom, even. Ding. Sometimes I fight with my brother but still love him. His simplicity hit hard. No clue the magnitude. Just a long sister fight. Sister came back, eyes red. Saw me with her son, hesitated. Kid. Mom, this is Aunt Tessa. We looked at each other, really looked. Years of pain, loss, destruction. Dad cleared throat. Your mom's asking for you both. Both? Plan all along, forcing us in the same space. Sister grabbed her bag. You go first. I'll wait. Let's go together. Wasn't forgiveness, just exhaustion. Walked that hall side by side, silent. Behind us, nephew holding Dad's hand, asking if Grandma would be happy he met his aunt today. Mom died 2 months later. Peacefully, they said. Visited 3 more times. Talked small stuff, Meissen, weather, childhood memories. Never the betrayal, just existed in the same space. Maybe enough. Funeral, church service, Dad's eulogy had everyone crying. Flowers, condolences, careful avoidance of drama. Sister on opposite side, with her kids. One glance, nod. That was it. Owen's hand on my back. My son quiet, sensing weight. Cemetery, opposite sides of the grave. Dad between us, trying to bridge the unbridgeable. Everyone left. Dad took kids for bathroom, snacks. Owen took my son to look at headstones. Suddenly just me and sister across Mom's fresh grave. Silence stretched. Thought about leaving. Then she spoke, barely audible. I ruined everything. Know that. Don't expect forgiveness. Don't deserve it. Looked at her 30, but looked 40. Life brutal. I became you, I said. Tried to destroy you, became what I hated. Confusion. That post, that blew up. Me? Knew it'd hurt. Wanted it to. Knew about the photos. Could have warned you, helped take them down. Chose to let you suffer, she cried. Silent tears. Watched you lose everything, job, reputation, marriage. Felt satisfied. Called it justice. Wasn't. Revenge. Worst part, didn't care who else got hurt. Your kids? Your son? Saw him crying in that parking lot because kids saw your photos. Part of me thought you deserved it. You did, she whispered. But my kids didn't. Both crying now. Can't forgive you. Not yet. Maybe, never. You broke something in me. But can't keep doing this. Hate. Obsession, it's poisoning me. Affecting my marriage. My son became someone cruel. Sorry. Been sorry years. Didn't know how to say. Didn't think I had the right. Destroyed you out of jealousy, selfishness. Paid every day since. My kids shouldn't pay to. They are. Your oldest knows the story now. Kids at school. Made sure. 7 years old. Carrying shame. Pulled the letter from my bag. This is for you. Not forgiveness. Just where we are. She took it, trembling. Can I read now? Later. Alone. Thanks for being here. For talking. Know how hardest thing in years. But necessary. Will I see you again? Don't know. Need time. Figure out who I am, without rage. Your son's beautiful. Looks like you. Thanks. Yours seem resilient. Surviving? That's all I manage now. Awkward silence. Gotta go. Owen's waiting. Son'll get restless. Sure. Thanks for the letter, for today, for not hating me as much as I deserve. I do hate you, but trying not to let it define me. Walked away. Heard her crying alone at Mom's grave, holding years of pain in pages. Not healing, not closure. First step toward not being enemies, even if never sisters again. 3 years post-funeral. Carefully maintained distance. Slow healing. Never told sister about the monthly transfers to Dad's account for kids' school supplies, clothes, activities. She doesn't know it's me. Easier. Not for her, for the kids who didn't ask for this mess. She got a warehouse job 6 months after. Honest work. Small apartment alone. Kids with her weekdays. Dad weekends. In therapy weekly. Trying to be better. Me too monthly now. Talk forgiveness. Letting go control. Being a better mom. Not passing darkness. Dad alone in the old house. Too big. Full of ghosts. Sister visits Tuesdays. Me Thursdays. Never overlap. Tacit boundary. Till his 70th. Owen convinced. Me small party. Just family. Almost said new, but my son wanted to see. Grandpa. Showed up late. Sister and kids already there. Room went quiet, careful. Not awkward. Sister in kitchen. Looked up. Fear in eyes. Afraid I'd leave. Cause conflict. I nod that. She nodded back. Kids gravitated instantly. My 6-year-old and her 10-year-old building blocks. Younger ones joined, laughing, oblivious to history. Sister and I opposite sides of room. Civil through Dad. Pass this to your sister. Tell her thanks for the cake. Later, oldest nephew approached shyly. Hi, Aunt. Tessa. Heart clenched. Your son's cool. Can we be friends? glanced at sister watching, expression unreadable. Yeah. Friends, after cake, backyard watching kids play. Sister came out, stood 10 feet away. Long silence, then quiet. Thanks. For the money. No, it's you. Dad's terrible at secrets. Didn't confirm. Therapist says, accept help without overanalyzing motives. Hard, but trying. So thanks, helped for the kids. Still, watched my son teach her daughter cartwheels. She was awful. He was patient. They don't know, sister said, about us everything. Haven't told mine? Yours knows he has an aunt. Cousin's not the story. Maybe they never need to. Let them just be cousins. Have what we destroyed. Thought about family history, weight, pain cycles, breaking them. We'll never be sisters again. Not mean, just true. I know, but don't have to be enemies. Looked at me, really. No, don't forgive you. Don't know if I ever will. Don't deserve it, but don't hate you like I used to. Just tired of carrying this. Me too. My son called, wanted me to watch something, waved, watching. When I turned back, sister, closer. Not much, just enough we were together, not apart. Maybe this is enough, she said softly. Don't need traditional family, just coexist for them. Watched kids playing, building new on our ruins. Maybe, I agreed. Maybe enough. Stood there, to women who destroyed and were destroyed, watching kids play in what was left of family, not healed, not reconciled, not sisters, but not enemies. For those innocent kids who deserved better than our war, maybe enough had to be alternative. Continue psychopathate, teach betrayal, unforgivable, revenge, justice, legacy neither wanted. So we stood together but separate, broken but trying. Not sisters, not enemies. Somewhere in that messy middle, maybe peace.